Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This video is actually specifically for a Bring a Trailer auction, which I'm doing or going to be doing on this Volkswagen bus. It's a Kombi that was converted into a camper by the original owner. I'm the second owner of this vehicle. They used it mainly for camping once a year since '74, so it didn't really see a whole lot of use, which is why it's in such good shape. Selling it because, well, I'm a little bit out of space right now, as you can kind of see. Every square inch around me is full of something, and this is the one thing that I'd probably rather sacrifice than some of the other stuff that's in here. So off it goes. I'm gonna do a little video. We're gonna do a startup, take it for a drive, and I'll show it to you. There's gonna be lots of pictures on the ad, so hopefully that'll give you a good idea of the condition. But it is a very clean, very well kept one owner, well, I guess two owner vehicle now. So without further ado, let's have a look at the vehicle. All right, I've seen guys do this on the videos where you grab the exhaust pipe. Ah! Just kidding. It's cold, so the reason I'm doing that is just to show that I haven't started this thing actually in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. We did the Model T races. Yeah, probably been a few weeks since I started it. So I'm trying to give you guys an honest cold start. All right. Make sure I'm not in gear because that would suck. I'm parked very close to my Mercedes, so I got to be pretty careful. In fact, I'll put the camera down after I get it started. So let's give it a little gas. Oh, almost. There we go. Nope. There it goes. So obviously it needs to warm up a little bit. The interior in this is really kind of neat. It's very 1970s, very vintage vibe in here. But anyway, I'm gonna back this out and then we'll give you a better view of it outside. Okay, I am out. I'll turn it off and I'll start it again so you guys can see how it starts after it's been warmed up a little bit. Just like that. Look, I won't even use any pedals. Look, no feet. You can see my feet aren't anywhere near the pedals. Starts no problem. So we're gonna take her for a little drive. It's the joys of being an old car fanatic. Love old cars, but sometimes you can't keep them all. Mileage reads 25,000. I put it in as 125 because I'm sure it's probably more. Don't think it's much more because the interior is actually very decent in this thing. So, first gear. Let's see if we can get into second. And it actually does highway speed just fine. Gets around no problem. Brakes are good, everything's good in that regard. It's got a certain quirkiness. We've had a couple Volkswagen buses in the past. This one being modified by its original owner gives it sort of a different vibe, like the 70s carpet that's behind me on the back cupboard there. But everything's in such good shape that I actually really like it. It's quite charming. And we'll get up around this corner and I'll park it and I'll do a little walkthrough of the vehicle itself. Well, here she is in all of her campery goodness. I will say it runs and drives very well. Had no issues with that. In fact, it was just taken to the mountains this summer, and that's a 4-hour drive. The vehicle was painted once. It's had one paint job back to the original color, so there's the original paint right there. There's, to my knowledge, not a speck of rust on the car. I'll grab a magnet in a little bit and we'll go around and I'll show you that there's no issues there. But let's start with the interior. The steering wheel has this old wrap on it, which I've decided just to leave on. It doesn't feel like it's cracked or anything under there, but we'll let the next person decide what they want to do. When I got it, it had seat covers on it, and I took those off, and the seats are actually, other than the padding on the inside being a little bit worse for wear, it needs a little bit more, it was horsehair or whatever they stuff these things with, Excelsior. They've got these little cushions on top that I've been using, but the seats are okay. Upholstery's not bad. That's definitely not a big issue, even if you had to do it. Rubber floor mat. Let's see, it's got an aftermarket cassette deck. The radio does work in it. I don't know if it'll... Yep. Anyway, the radio does work. This, you'll have to look at the pictures. There's a little table that goes here. It's actually just right down there. There's a little table that goes here. There's like little accessories for this whole thing. Everywhere you look, there's a spot for an accessory. Let me do a little walk around to the outside of it. So I was told the reason it was repainted was that they had lots of little bug chips and stuff on the front, and not necessarily rusty, but they want it to look nice. As you can see, they maintained it really well over the years. And I do have the receipts going back quite a few years for this vehicle, including for that paint job, which was done. The decals, the stripes, have a little bit of wear in some places from people getting in and out, but I'm sure that could be touched up if a person wanted to. So we'll just do a little walk around here. You really got to look at the pictures with everything up. It looks like an old corgi toy from the 60s with like the little pop-up red and white tent and then the awning out and everything. It's actually a really neat little setup. The interior does kind of move around so that you can get more space. You get it converts to a double bed or queen size kind of bed space down below, and you got another one, a double bed up top. There's also the tent that goes across the driver's seat there. We open the engine up here. This engine was completely rebuilt by the dealership. So this is not a, you know, it was rebuilt properly, and I do have the paperwork from that. It's carbureted, as you can see, and there's the VIN number on it there. I guess I should have washed in here, but you guys will forgive me. I'm sure there's a little bit of dust and blocks for when you're camping, so you can put behind the wheels that they store in the engine bay there. But there's no rust or anything like that in, you know, in these areas. If anything, it's just a little surface by where the battery is. It's got a little step spot here so you can get up when you're putting your camper top up, and this is the top of it here. Let's go inside. I'll show you what the inside looks like. So you've got your vintage style cabinetry that was made custom for this vehicle, and it does have a little ice box, a little fridge there, cupboards, lots of drawers, and we're including a set of nice silver plated silverware, which we've got in the holder there. There's a table that clips on here and comes out, so you got a little kitchen prep space. That's for your towels. And my kids were out here playing cards. Why not? That's what it's for. So the interior is original. We added lap belts to it so my kids could ride. So it's got seat belts for 3 across this one seat here. And we utilized the original Volkswagen mounting holes that were built right into the vehicle. So that's all fine. But it's a neat configuration. You can see it's got like an L shape. So you could probably have like 4 or 5 people comfortably sit around on the inside and just hang out. When you look up, it has an air conditioner unit. It's a Kenmore, probably the same vintage of the vehicle, but everything's working. And there's a little window up here, so you can get a little fresh air going if you want, and a sun roof, or a moon roof, I guess I should say, extra cupboards. And everything was done really well. Like the way that they trimmed it out was very professionally done. I guess the dad was a cabinet maker or had experience with that. So everything that they did to a pretty high standard. It looks like some alternate dimension kind of factory job. What's neat is to access the top, when this is popped up, and see it's kind of like an extra sunlight right now. When you want to convert the space into a bed, this lifts up quite far. And there's a wooden board that slides across, and you put this little pillow in place and it turns into a bed up there. But that's how you get up into the top, is through the inside of the vehicle and up. And it's pretty cool. So it's got this little vented sort of camper roof on there, and I've not seen or had any issues with leaking. Mind you, I do park it indoors. I don't know what it would be like in a torrential downpour or whatever, but there's been no leaks on the interior on my ownership or at any point during its life that I'm aware of. Again, really solid along here. No rust at all. Door slides nice. It's got a little pull-out step, so you can have a little easier access getting in and out. We'll crawl underneath. Oh, and we'll get down low. So a few little rock chips on the rocker panels, but you can see all the little divots. That's all factory metal, and it's actually very solid, and underneath is actually quite clean. So people always ask, well, how are the dog legs on it? And they're excellent. Like, I don't think there's a speck of rust on this entire vehicle of any sort of consequence. And I say that because somebody might say, oh, well, you know, there's a little surface rust somewhere, but I don't really count that. If you can polish it off, it doesn't really count. For whatever reason, they have the idle is set a little high on the engine. So when you start it, it idles a little high, but it seems quite happy at that idle, so I haven't adjusted it. We put a new spare tire cover on it, so it still has the wrinkles in it, but the old one was fine. It's just it was the Canadian flag, and was a little bit yellowed from the sun, so we just got a brighter white one. When I first got the vehicle, it also had a big bike rack on the front, which I took off. I don't have it anymore, so if you ask, like, can I have the bike rack, I did not keep that. The only thing I kept that was taken off of the vehicle, there is these little holes right there, which I put these little filler pieces in. That was for like a big like an RV, kind of like a big truck mirror, and that is included if you ever wanted to put that back on. Maybe for towing it might be good. But these spots where the bike rack was mounted, the holes are present, and I did not professionally fill them. I just got basically plugs to fill those spots. So yeah, really I haven't had to do a whole lot to it. It's just been hop in and go and drive, and it's been a fun family vehicle, and it's super cool. We took it out to the racetrack, and we were all set up there, and the kids were having a great time inside. So I'm sure for the next family that ends up with it, they're going to have a great time with it too. But it's very clean, very solid, rebuilt engine, and just a very unique vehicle in really great shape. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of what this little Volkswagen bus looks like. So I'm going to pull this back in the garage very carefully here in a minute, and I'll include some pictures of the vehicle in its camperized format, because it is basically like a transformer. It turns into this whole portable campground. It's so cool. So guys, I hope you like it. Oh, I guess I didn't talk about the tires have lots of tread on them. They're a little bit weather checked, so they're fine, but you might want to replace them at some point. They're probably, like, this thing really didn't see a whole lot of use, so at some point, maybe tires, if I had to do anything, but really it doesn't need a whole lot. It's pretty well ready to go, and it is insured, it's registered, it's licensed in my name, so you'll get a clean Canadian title with the vehicle as well. So guys, thanks for watching. For those of you that might be bidding on this vehicle, happy bidding, and yeah, hope you have as much fun with it as we've had. Take care, guys. We'll see y'all soon, and bye for now. Bye, everybody.